Hi, I'm Wally. If you don't know me, you should. If you don't love me, you will. Why? Because I'm here to make your life better. I'm the conductor. We're going places. I'm the maestro. There's music to be made. But it's going to cost you a piece of your soul, so look me in my eyes. Go on and get your wallets out. Get ready to buy what I'm selling. And let's begin. Check this out. Before it's all said and done with, I make you this promise. My promise is this. You'll either be educated, entertained, or inspired just by watching Wally, baby. You got to believe that. I want you to believe that. Because after I keep my promise, which is that you'll be either entertained, educated, or inspired, I'm going to keep that promise. And then I'm going to ask you to make a promise. And keep it. That's how this thing works. So, what's the title of my video for today? Today I want to tell you about your helpless little self. Your helpless little self. And why you can't do nothing. And how your situation is helpless and hopeless because you can't do nothing. Okay? We've all felt that. We've all been there. We've all felt like we've been in a situation where we've been entirely powerless. Felt like we've been a victim of circumstances. I want you to stop saying that you're a victim. I want you to understand that you're a volunteer, because wherever you are in this thing called life, you choose to be wherever you are in this life. And because it's a conscious choice for you to be wherever you are, guess what? You have volunteered to do that. And because you remain where you are, that is still a choice. And because you choose to remain where you are, regardless how bad it is, regardless of how hard it is, because you choose to remain there, you're volunteering for that. So congratulations for what you volunteered for. But if you're not liking what you volunteered for and it's woe is me, I need for you to understand that there was only one time in your life that you were helpless. One time in your life that you were helpless. And that one time that you were helpless, you weren't even hopeless. The one time that you were helpless, that you weren't even hopeless, is when you were born. You were helpless. You couldn't do anything for yourself, but at no point were you hopeless. Why? Because you were surrounded by people who were dedicated to make sure you succeeded. Soon as you came out, the doctors were dedicated to make sure you succeeded. And then after they put you in the car, mom and daddy drove you home, they were dedicated to seeing you succeeded. So you were helpless, but you weren't hopeless because of the environment you were in. So, quick and dirty, all I'm saying is this. If you find yourself feeling helpless and feeling hopeless, you got to change your environment. You got to change your environment, because the environment that you are in is currently not feeding you. Wally, how can you say that? You're the one sitting there telling me that you feel like you're helpless and hopeless. But look, I got to back up, because I was about to put this down for you to pick up. That time that you were feeling helpless and hopeless, all you needed was a couple experiences. All you needed was a couple experiences for you no longer to become helpless. Wally, what kind of experience are you talking about? The experience of seeing what you were made of and what you can do. Wally, what are you talking about? All right, when you were a baby, you couldn't really do anything. You was just all floppy and everything. You know, they even told your mama, hold his neck when you pick him up. He can't hold his neck up by himself. And so what did you do? You just laid around and flopped your neck. And see, you just thought that you were just flopping your neck around, but you weren't just flopping your neck around. The whole time you was flopping your neck around, you was figuring out how the musculature inside this thing works. And then one day, instead of it being all out of sorts and all over everywhere, you decided, oh, that's how this works. And because you got control of the musculature, you could do a little bit more with it. Oh, that's how this thing works. And then you just got to looking at everybody whenever you wanted to, whenever you decided to. But how did that happen? You had to come from just exploring what your muscles could do to finding out what you're capable of doing. But if you never went through the period where you were figuring out what you're capable of, what you can do to keep yourself from feeling helpless, you would have never known that you could pick your head up. And it all goes in together. If you never knew that you could pick your head up, you never knew that you could move the rest of your extremities, with your arms and legs, all right? If I can move this thing that's connected, I can move these things that are connected. I can move these things that are connected. I can move these things that are connected. And guess what? It goes all the way down the bottom. Permission to move the head becomes permission to move the arms. Permission to move the arms becomes permission to move the legs. All I'm saying is all of this because of if you are not trying to have new experiences, you are not giving yourself the permission, yes, I said the permission to stop feeling hopeless. If you don't have any experiences to charge you in other areas in your life, if you never do anything to help you understand that your neck is stable, then you'll never know that you can move your arms. If you never do anything to help you understand your neck is stable and you can move your arms, then you won't be able to move your legs because you don't have anything in your history to be able to build off where you're trying to go to. That allows you to continue stuck where you are, feeling helpless or hopeless. Wrapping all this thing up. When you feel helpless or hopeless, the first thing you have to do is change your environment. Because I told you, when you first came here and you were feeling helpless and hopeless, the universe gave you support in the form of people who love you, who are able to help you nourish and grow. So if you're feeling helpless and hopeless, the first thing you got to do is grow. And if you're feeling helpless or hopeless, another thing you can do is start to give yourself experiences, positive experiences. Get out the house. Get out the house. Look, people are like, Wally, I'm broke. I can't do anything. Baby, you can be broke anywhere. You could be broke in Fiji. Wally, I can't get to Fiji. Well, you go to the beach and pretend you're there. You cannot have anywhere. So stop stressing out about that. When you're feeling helpless and hopeless, start having more experiences so that you can tell yourself the things that you're capable of wanting to do. It all goes in together. And guess who's in charge of that? You're in charge of that. How do we know that you're in charge of it? Because it's your reality. It's your life. And I told you when this thing started, because King Boss don't lie. The father of feather philosophy does not lie. I told you you'd be entertained, educated, or inspired. I know you're entertained because this is Wally, baby. I know you were educated because this is Wally, baby. And I know that you were inspired. Why? Because this is Wally, baby. And so because I kept my promises, I want you to keep your promise. While I didn't agree to make no promise, all I want you to do is just promise that you'll share this information with somebody who needs to know this. Because you know, like I know, that it's somebody paralyzed in their life right now. You see them all the time. You work with them. You work with them. It might be a couple of your family members, might be a couple of your closest friends, but you can't talk to them because you don't want to damage that relationship. But guess who can't talk to them? They need to hear what King Boss has to say. So what's the best thing to do? Forward them this video so they can know when they feel helpless and they feel hopeless, they need to have more experiences and change their environment. This is life science. Like when I get up here and I say, I'm here to make your life better, it's not a game. It's not a game. If you implement these things that I tell you when I get up here, when I come around the corner on y'all, if you implement what I told you to when I come around the corner, your life will be better. If not, try me, fight me. If you've taken any of King Boss's advice before and it worked out for you, just put down in the comment section, he knows what he's talking about. If you enjoyed what I was talking about today, you can just put down there #value. But, if you feel what I was saying when I was like, it's people who need to know this information, then share it. That's all I'm asking. I gave you entertainment, I gave you education, I gave you value. And so in return, I want you to give it to somebody else, because that's the way it works. The more you give, the more you get. I almost forgot to say wally.com.com, but I didn't forget to say wally.com.com. Wally.com.com.